Right. Hey, good afternoon. This is Lavaris and Greg. Of course, we're the Bfree guys, a couple of the Bfree guys here, and we just like to do a lot of some impromptu things that when you have different articles and different drops that come out, we want to be able to address those things and just kind of speak to them and be able to get them out to you, our particular audience, because we know we have people that's looking for information and we want to be that source. So we want to be able to talk about this. Greg, you sent me this great information from Citi. And of course, people know Citibank, big bank. They're one of the largest, not only in the country but also in the world. They're a big bank, and they just dropped a great little piece. And I guess the heading of that thing is Bitcoin at the tipping point. Right. So, Greg, I'm gonna turn it over to you. You go ahead and start us off with some of the information you pulled out of it, and we can hit it.
Well, before I dive into it, man, let me at least spend about 3, 4, maybe 5, 6 seconds, man, talking about what's up with that skyline behind you, man.
Well, I'm a city boy.
Yeah, that is hot, man. What
Yeah.
Is it a particular city or is it just an image?
It's just an image, okay. Me being a creative guy that I am.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
I figured that'd be a good fit for the Bfree Network,
Yeah, okay. Doing the nightlight.
Yes, the nightlight. It's always good,
Yep. All right, man. So let's talk about this thing, man. Now, I have the full report, but I got the report, man, from one of my favorite dudes, man. Max Kaiser, man. Him
Okay.
and Stacy, they drop straight science, man. They giving you straight nuggets. All you got to do is listen fast enough, man, and you can get it all.
Yes.
I got it from them.
Okay.
And the tipping point. Now this is Citi. Now Citi, they started to dabble as early as 2014. Then they kind of publicly pulled back. But it was what you were talking about on yesterday. A lot of times, they're doing things behind the scenes. So, they're saying one thing publicly, but behind the scenes, they're doing something totally different. They're building infrastructure. And let's be real. If you are a whale, if you are a big institutional investor, and you know that you're getting ready to come into a market space, you really don't want to announce it too soon. You want to do it after the fact. Michael Saylor, Elon Musk, when Elon Musk, news came out
after.
Look at Bitcoin, but look, he'd already bought the shit.
Yeah, I didn't spend 1.5 billion.
Yeah, he didn't announce anything before.
Yes.
He bought it. And these huge exchanges, the Coinbases of the sector, they're facilitating these large, buy-ins because, you're not just gonna buy $1 billion, $100 million worth of Bitcoin, just on straight spot.
Correct. Correct.
It takes coordination, Yep. So it's interesting, but here's one of the takeaways that this Citi announcement and this report, says. It says, Bitcoin, may be optimally positioned to become the preferred currency for global trade. Now that's a mouthful.
That's a mouthful. Yeah, just in itself. If we stop right there and talk about nothing else.
If you just stop there, exactly, and don't talk about anything else. But I'm gonna hit you with another sentence, and then you pick which one we want to, try to, expound on. It says it is immune from both fiscal and monetary policy, avoids the need for cross-border foreign exchange transactions. That's the FX market that you talked about yesterday, right? Enables near instantaneous payments. Now, relatively speaking, I guess you could say that, we know Bitcoin as it stands in its native, form. There ain't nothing instantaneous about it. We know that.
But Bitcoin Cash.
The second layers, the Lightning, network, Bitcoin can be, instantaneous in facilitating transactions. Bitcoin Cash is already in its native form, basically instantaneous.
That's right.
Then it ends it with saying, and eliminates concerns about defaults or cancellations, as the coins must be in the pair's wallet before the transaction is initiated. So, like for us, with our membership site, we only accept Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah.
For that primary reason. We only accept Bitcoin Cash because we know that we don't have to worry about, any, stolen credit cards, being used to make payments and anything like that. None of that stuff. It's pretty much immediate, which is a great added value for paying commissions. So affiliates get their commissions, in practically near real time, occurrence as those payments are being made, which is great, added value. The cross-border, foreign exchange, the attack on that system, the attack on, the SWIFT system.
Yes.
It's huge.
That's right.
It's huge. But these guys are now publicly acknowledging what we have known for, for a reasonable amount of time. And we're not the smartest guys in this Bitcoin.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of other, extremely savvy, knowledgeable cats that, we kind of look at, as mentors and, source of information and perspectives that they've known this for a decade. And it's just amazing to see, how, what we said yesterday, watch what they do.
Not what they do.
Now it's to the point where not only are they doing it, but now they can't even not talk about it.
That's right. That's right. And that first point that you hit, the fact that Bitcoin has the potential to be a global currency, that in itself is huge. Because you think of the upside, and because it's such a finite number of Bitcoins that will be mined when it's all said and done, that means that this is truly going to be a limited currency. So what happens when you have anything that's limited, of course, you have a demand for it, it pushes up the price. So Bitcoin being at about 48,000, wherever it is now, I think it went down a little bit today, but think of where it's at today. And, we're looking at March 2nd, 2021. So I would love to be able to
48, even almost 48, $44.
So if Bitcoin becomes a global currency, as if Citi has stated, and many other analysts has even mentioned as well, it's possible that Bitcoin could get as high as several million, if not tens of $1 million per coin, because of the demand. And now we're dealing in increments of the cryptocurrency, basically, for Bitcoin. That's why, of course, Bitcoin Cash has been a big push for Bitcoin Cash, because Bitcoin Cash has all those attributes, plus it's faster and it's less to spend, less to send. So it's a great coin to look at. And that's why, as Greg you mentioned, that we use that on the Live to Be Free, because you can receive those payments. Should I say those commissions? I mean, almost instantly, and it's not drawing, $4 or $5 per send, for it. But if Bitcoin does hit that as global currency, hit that global currency market, I mean, that's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy, because those of us that has got into Bitcoin now, even with, owning a 0.04, of Bitcoin, if it's worth $10 million a coin, you're already up to 40, $400,000, so it's crazy.
It's really, I think, when people spend a lot of time right now worrying about the price, I think it's irrelevant, because the trend line is already in place.
Mm-hmm.
Always, you can buy something cheaper, than, paying more for it. That's
but, we price people, though. Money is a
good thing. But when you look at like hockey, you want to skate to where the puck is going to be. So that's what you should be worried about. Not all of what's happening in between. All of these little ups and downs. Like, I very rarely look at it. Now, I listen to see, okay, is there some major news that could have indications on the full integrity of Bitcoin and Bitcoin and network?
Yeah.
Now, I'll be disturbed with that. But all of the little, noise and the chatter on the daily, hourly basis, I don't pay attention to any of that, and I don't worry about the short time, movement. It will drive you crazy, for one, unless you're a trader, not being a trader. So it's not something that, that I need to, entertain myself with. Here's the other thing, man. We touched on it a little bit yesterday with Kevin O'Leary, announcing that he's now, was it 3% of his portfolio is in Bitcoin. As other people continue to realize, and I think, some of them, they don't want to be totally wrong. They may not be totally convicted on, convinced on Bitcoin, but they know that the asymmetrical upside is so incredible that they just gotta park something over there. They gotta hedge, just a little bit. Everybody's not gonna be Michael Saylor.
Yes, correct.
That's just not gonna happen. And it's good that everybody's not gonna be Michael Saylor, because that will, pretty much eliminate opportunities for people like us.
That's right.
Ordinary people, to get, their stats up, and that's what we should be worried about, getting our stats up.
Yes.
And you said something when you were talking about, 0.4 Bitcoin. In the very near future, we ain't gonna be pricing things in decimal points of Bitcoin. We're gonna be pricing things in Satoshis.
Yeah.
And it's going to be all about how many Satoshis does that product cost. You still going to have the conversion, from whatever, fiat currency that you may be dealing with, because the fiat currencies, are not going away anytime soon. They're just going to continue to be devalued, because they're deflationary. They're inflationary, by nature, by design. So you'll do that conversion, but purchases, commerce is soon going to be conducted in Satoshis.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that, because that was the one of the foundating situations. Once that happens, then Bitcoin has become a global currency. When it's no longer compared to a fiat, it's not balanced off fiat. Once it has its own pricing point, and say, hey, we buying, give me this.
What if freaking OPEC? They start pricing, barrels of oil in Satoshis. Just think about it.
Yeah.
And that's not something that's really far-fetched.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Another piece that I was looking at too is, and you touched on that, is that people that really understand Bitcoin really are not concerned about the price. It's more so of the opportunity for holdings, because you mentioned on another webinar here that it's so much money out there. It's trillions and trillions of dollars that these companies are holding, and it's just sitting in cash holdings in US dollars or whatever. And they know that, hey, we need to diversify this. And we need to diversify this. So we're looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is stable. There is some fluctuation in the price, but it ain't going nowhere. It ain't going to appreciate like the dollar is doing. Of course, it's definitely safe, because you can put it in there, can't nobody steal it. You got your cold wallets or whatever put up, as long as you secure it properly. It can't be stolen, can't be confiscated. Don't care how mad the government get at you. So it's so many attributes of Bitcoin that causes people to say, you know what, we sitting on, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, like Elon Musk said, I got all this money around. Hey, I'm putting some in Bitcoin because I see the potential of what's happening with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some in Bitcoin. And that's going to happen over and over again with these large corporations. And of course, when they do that, now, of course, the price will increase.
Look, supply and demand. Now, we know the supply is fixed.
Yep.
Supply is fixed. It's already finite. The scarcity is inherently there.
Yep.
And there's only so many that's actually in circulation anyway.
All right.
And they're moving Bitcoins off into cold storage. They're taking what's already a scarce asset and making it even more scarce, making it even more, limited.
Okay. Well, I would say, I know we just wanted to try to just jump on and do a quick little nugget on that piece that came out, because it is important information. It is information that, that could move the needle a little bit, and people began to understand that, okay, these large corporations, as we mentioned, they're getting in the game. Even though they had a different perspective back in 2014, 2015, and so on, because Bitcoin was still at a stage of, okay, understanding, hey, is this going to be around, or is this something that's just, it's going to come by like a kite in the wind, but they realizing that Bitcoin is going to stay. Bitcoin is here because the blockchain technology is the truth. It's the truth. So with that, I would just say, it'd be the last thing I would say, and I'll let you close out. So if your thought comes up, that continue to pay attention to what's happening out there. Just pay attention, even though, we said that you want to watch what they do, not what they say. See what they're saying too, because then you can be able to contrast to what's being done. You can use that.
Definitely listen, but most importantly, watch.
Watch.
Yeah, definitely listen, but most importantly, watch. Yeah, it's just exciting right now, man. It's exciting to be alive. Right now. When you really think about it, this moment in time is unlike. I'm 57. It's unlike anything that I've experienced, and it's only gonna get. Heard a brother down here, man, said when I first moved down here, he said, man, look. It's not just good, man. It's getting gooder and gooder.
True Ebonics.
Yeah, it's getting gooder and gooder.
Yeah, gooder and gooder. Yeah.
That's how, I'll leave it for me, man. Look, life is just getting gooder and gooder, man. You guys need to come on and get it. It's not going to be here forever at the opportunity that it is right now. Now it's going to be around for quite a while, but not at the opportunity that it is right now.
Yep. And live to be free. Come check us out. LiveToBeFree.com.
That's it. All right, brothers. Peace.